indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Just have some announcements here. The emergency exits are to the left and right in the front and back of the building. Restrooms are just outside the door and to the left. Be sure to sign the attendance sheet at the back of the meeting room, even if you are a developer and are presenting an application. There are business cards at the back table next to the sign-in sheet to take with you with the email address and phone number for the planning department. Also on the back table is a copy of the resolutions that will be read tonight, along with the agenda. Please either turn off or put on silent your cell phones, and if you must take a call, please take it out in the hall. And that goes with conversations as well. If you have to talk to somebody, please take it out in the hall. We have meeting minutes of June 22, 2021. Has everybody had a chance to review those? Okay, we have, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
It's Joe?
Yeah.
Joe makes the motion. Joe Logan.
Oh, jeez.
I'll second.
And Al Galena seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Did you receive any correspondence? No correspondence. We don't have Ed Kahovic. He's got a conflict. He's got a meeting over in Farmington. So we have no report for the town board. Are there any other committees here or boards? What's happening next time, Kim?
So your next meeting will be August 10th, starting out with a public hearing for Auction Direct Auto Body Shop. They're purchasing the old Stokeham's Collision Shop at 1093 McMahon Road. The applicant is requesting approval to remove the proposed stockade fence that was proposed between the residence and the shop on the original site plan from 1994. The residential house would now be used for storage. The second public hearing will be for the Heinz Pole Barn at 6700 Woodbrook Road. The applicant is requesting approval to construct a 35-foot by 60-foot post-frame pole barn for storage. Third public hearing will be for Victor Health and Wellness Plaza, which is the former Railside Market, at 7249 State Route 96. The applicant is proposing a change of use to convert the existing building from a grocery store into space for 4 individual tenant spaces. And that building is approximately 8,000 square feet in size. Then we have a sketch plan application for the Southgate Hills Phase 2 on East Victor Road. The applicant is requesting acknowledgement of a complete application to develop under the clustering provisions 29 lots on 58.3 acres. And that's it, and any carryovers from tonight.
Okay, thank you. The legal notice for the public hearings appeared in the Daily Messenger along with under review signs being posted on the subject parcels. Postcards were mailed to property owners within a minimum of 500 feet from the location for the initial public hearing date of each application. For applications carried over, please refer to the Planning and Building Office. And with regard to public hearings, speakers are requested to limit comments to 3 minutes, and if you go beyond that, we're going to cut you off at 5. So our first agenda item is Frank Lill and Son Storage Yard. The public hearing is closed on that one.
Good evening. I'm Steve Schultz with MRB Group. I wasn't at the last meeting that was attended by Luke Lill, one of the owners of the property. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's in Columbus tonight. I guess they've been doing the Ohio State power plant, so they're all there for their meetings and such, so they asked me to come tonight. I don't think there's not much more to describe than what he presented at the last meeting. It's a storage yard behind the building. It's about 2 acres. We've had some comments from the various town departments and the town engineer. We addressed them all and resubmitted a plan and response letters to everything.
Yep, I think we're pretty clear on this. Anybody have any questions at this point?
I was not at the last meeting, Ernie.
Yep.
I just wanted to know if you could just briefly review your application again.
It's The building is here
Yep.
on Old Dutch Road, storage building in the back, and behind that, and we mitigated flows east or north on the northern half, and we put in the stormwater management and put another one in on the southern half, submitted all the, stormwater report and SWIP and NOI and all that, and so,
So this is adjacent to, you have a couple of, I don't want to call them temporary structures out there for storage, but there's already a fairly large rectangular pad just south of that.
yeah, and we're including that in this application, because that was kind of just started a little bit, just to, they just needed space, kind of.
That was my
soon.
biggest question was, I don't recall looking at that piece of it in the past. I know that we approved everything up front, and, I've seen things being stored and, year after year there, and
Yeah, no, they
ended it quite a bit, so.
Yeah. When he came to me, I didn't know. We did the front part
Right.
about 7-8 years ago, and he came to me and said, I think they were getting millings from Wegmans over on 441 because they were redoing the parking lot, and he said, what do we need to do? And I said, well, you're going to need to go to the planning board, to get this approved, and we're going to treat this back area that you kind of already started as new. So we treated this and all our stormwater stuff as new, not as existing. So that's why we're addressing stormwater management from it, and that's why we're including it in the application as new. We wanna
Okay,
make
so
sure
you're
that the whole thing is
formalizing what's
approved.
been done already, plus
Yeah.
adding to it, is what basically.
That was the intent. That's kind of what I directed him to do, so.
Okay, well, that's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, it seemed like the right thing to do. I mean, I wasn't going to do a plan for them if they weren't going to
Yeah.
take it in and get it approved, and I told them that, so.
Okay.
Joe, Al, anything?
No questions, Ray.
No questions. I'm looking at the letters from July 23rd, the four, and they seem to address all of the concerns we had, so I'm fine with it.
Very good. Did I cut you off here? You're past 3 minutes. Okay, we have a resolution on this one. For Lil and Son Storage Yard, 785 Old Dutch Road, 72721, application number 17-SP-2021. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 12. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on July 27, 2021, and identified no significant impacts. Now therefore, be it resolved that the project, Lil and Son Storage Yard, will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of Low Power and Development site plan entitled Lil and Son Storage Yard, drawn by MRB Group, dated June 1, 2021, received by the Planning Board June 7, 2021, Planning Board application number 17 SP 2021 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. 2, that the comments in a letter dated July 13, 2021 from Labella Associates be addressed. 3, that the comments in a letter dated July 9, 2021 from Stormwater Manager be addressed. Ongoing conditions, there's only one, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4, and be that further resolved that the Planning Board Secretary distribute the Planning Board's approval letter. Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay. Al moves, Joe Limbeck seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed.
Thank you.
Welcome. Next is Scout Path, 03 PS 2021, Aldridge Road, tax map number 16.00-1-2.120. Owner D. Hollander Design Incorporated, Zone Residential 2. Applicant is requesting approval to subdivide the 8.84 acre parcel into 5 building lots ranging in size from 0.183 acres to 5.09 acres. The home locations will be accessed via 2 shared common driveways. Sketch plan was acknowledged on February 25, 2020. There we go. Scott, anything?
All right, good evening. This plan that we're looking at right now has been modified, I think, since it was shown, definitely since Joe was at the meeting. We may have talked through it a little bit last meeting, but our intent is to take some of the advice that we got early on, Joe, relative to what we were trying to pack on that front lot, and recognize that that actually had the more significant environmental features and should be inside a conservation easement as opposed to some of the property in the back. So our proposal has changed relative to Lot 5. We've included that frontage area in what was previously Lot 4, and we moved Lot 5 to the back. So the numbering sequence is probably a little off, but we felt it was prudent to keep the lot numberings that didn't change consistent. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Additionally, at the last meeting, we were requested to do a delineation. We've done that. Last week, the environmental consultant confirmed that there are no wetlands on the site, but there is the intermittent stream that we knew about to begin with that's now delineated, and an ephemeral drainage area that's adjacent to that. We don't believe that that's regulated, but we'll be submitting this delineation to the Corps for their final jurisdictional determination. But at this point, we're hoping that the planning board has enough information to start seeker and continue with the preliminary approval process.
Where are you with the Corps right now?
We'll have the final report on Friday, and we'll submit it to the Corps. The jurisdictional determination is really a formality. Don't have an estimate on how long it will take. But we do have confirmation from now 3 experts, our professional opinion, the environmental consultant, and a biologist that there are no wetlands on the site.
Great, thanks. Al, you have anything?
No questions.
Joe? Logan?
So again, I was missing your explanation of Lot 5 from last one. I was looking at the grading plan because as I recall from the previous meeting, there was a real challenge on that slope, and that's why I think you were pushing things to the bottom of the hill rather than where Lot 5 is now. So I guess I'm trying to get a sense of how steep that is and what you're planning on doing to carve a house into that hill.
Yeah. Well, the scale of the plan is, it makes it look steeper than it really is. You can, the lines drawn there are about 8% grade,
Okay,
so less than 10%. All of our driveway grades are at or less than 10%.
and the slope that the house is cut into or filled on, or filled against, I guess, is that like a 1-on-3 or a 1-on-4, or is it?
Yeah, all the grading that we're showing there is 1-on-3. The proposed grading,
Okay.
or shallower. I think there may be some 1-on-5.
I don't know if I have the same plan you do, Scott, if you want to, if you could, this is what I got out of the,
Yeah, so this is 1-on-5 here and 1-on-3.
Okay.
Maybe some 1-on-2.
yeah, I'm more concerned about right around the house and how serviceable that is for lawn mowing and stuff like that. So,
1-on-3 is rideable. 1-on-2 probably not so much.
Right.
There's the opportunity to grade those in a way where I don't think maintenance will be a problem.
okay. And it's, right now that's wide open, or are you taking out, are you clearing that from,
We do show a
Trees.
clearing limit. It is,
yeah, it's back a bit, I see that.
yeah,
I was just
that-
curious of the character of the,
it's not mature hardwoods. There is a mature hardwood stand on the property to the west of us. And the area that we leave in conservation easement is the steeper slopes and more mature trees. These are 3 to 5-inch caliper. There may be some larger diameter ash trees that are dying, and I won't say it's absent of anything larger than that, but for the predominance of the trees are less than 5-inch diameter.
Okay.
And for raspberry bushes, I can attest to that.
That, yeah. I feel your pain. That's all I got, Ernie. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
Lindbeck?
I appreciate the efforts you've made and the revisions you made to the plans. Anytime we add to the conservation easement, I'm always happy, so, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thanks, Joe. The public hearing is still open, so is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak, ask a question, address this application in any way? Hearing nothing, and we don't have a resolution tonight because you're still working, but
Can we close the public hearing then? Or do we need to leave it open?
I'd leave it open for now.
Okay.
Ernie, I have a couple questions for
We are at the end
the
today.
developer. Is this on? Guess so. Scott, we did get a brief chance to take a look at the updated plan. Could you describe where the drainage will be headed from the driveway that heads deep into the lot to the back two parcels? It looks like the contours, seem to direct the drainage straight down towards the roadway, but it's not clear to us, where that is going.
Yeah, the intent is to route it through the pond west, and with roadside swales, we would be bringing it to the pond, and I can give you a specific routing when I submit my revised drainage calcs, if that'd be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be helpful. It looks like there's a little bit of grading proposed in the right-of-way. I don't know that that's going to cause an issue. It may not. And is that to allow for alignment with the culvert that would go under the driveway?
Yeah, there's not much of a roadside swale right there. So what we're doing is capturing the roadside drainage and creating a pocket to transmit it under the driveway. So we need a foot of cover over our pipe, and so that's why you see 3 foot of grading there.
Okay. I think something that would be helpful for us to move the preliminary forward, even with seeker, would be an updated engineer's report. I know that I saw maybe an email where it indicated you would provide a final engineer's report, but I think for the purpose of this design, we would need a report, that reflects the changes and because the existing report that we have is from your original preliminary submission with the previous layout. And we'd appreciate an opportunity to, to see that report refined so that it specifically addresses this particular design, and we have the information behind this design to substantiate action on the plan.
Sure, we can have that to you by the end of the week.
Okay.
Good.
That's all I've got for him right now.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Wes. Okay,
Okay,
move forward.
have a good evening. Thank you.
Thanks, you too. Our next item is the Quick Fill Shed, 7453 State Route 96, 19, oh, wait a minute, before we do that, Ed is here now. Anything from the town board? All right, sounds good. Quick Fill Shed, 7453 State Route 96, tax map number 6.001-29.100, 19 SP 2021, zone commercial/light industrial. Owner is United Refining Holdings Incorporated. Applicant is requesting approval to install a 10 by 12-foot shed at the Quick Fill Station property for additional storage space. An area variance was approved on April 19, 2021 by the Zoning Board of Appeals. And who do we have?
Hi, I'm Ginny Schaefer. I'm representing United Refining Quickfill today. And yes, we are requesting approval to install a 10 by 12 shed on the side of the building. I know there was a comment from the board as far as a pathway for the doors. We will have the door opening towards the side of the building. There's a sidewalk right there, and we'll create the pathway to that sidewalk that's already there. I don't know if you have any other questions, or,
We'll find out.
okay.
Bill Limbeck, you have any questions or comments?
What sort of items will you be storing in there, specifically any petroleum products or?
No, no. It's more brooms and shovels and ice melt, windshield wash, antifreeze, just storage, non-perishable goods, but nothing flammable, no.
Okay.
Logan?
No, I think I'm fine with this, so.
Al? Galena?
All set.
Wes, you have anything?
No comments. Thank you.
Before you built this new building, there was a storage shed just about in the same spot. Recall that?
No, actually, I do not.
Oh. Well, it was.
It had to be a long time ago.
It was. Okay, that's the only comment I have. Anybody from the public have any questions or comments? If not, we'll have a motion to close the public hearing. Who will make that?
I'll move.
Joe Logan makes the motion. Who seconds? Al Galena seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is closed. And we have a resolution for you. This is for the quick fill shed site plan, 7453 State Route 96. Dated today's date, 7/27/21, application number 19SP 2021. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 6. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on July 27, 2021, and identified no significant impacts, now therefore it be resolved that the project quick fill shed site plan will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of United Refining Company of Pennsylvania, site plan entitled Quick Fill Shed, drawn by R.W. Larson Associates, dated 2014, received by the Planning Board June 15, 2021. Planning Board application number 19SP 2021 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. 2, that comments from the code enforcement officer dated June 25, 2021 be addressed. Ongoing conditions: 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. 2, that a building permit be obtained for the shed prior to installation. And be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Joe Logan moved. We have a second.
I'll second.
Joe Lindbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
You began a letter. Next is Crown Castle / T-Mobile, 914 Brownsville Road. Owner is Crown Castle. Tax map number 16.00-1-42.211/CRWN. It's zoned residential 2, and it's 06 SU 2021. Applicant is requesting approval to replace 3 antennas, ancillary equipment, and install 1 new microwave dish. No tower height extension or compound expansion is proposed. How are you?
Good. Good evening. My name is Richard Zajac, representing Crown Castle on behalf of T-Mobile in regard to the antenna modification project as described. To be a little more specific, just expand on that. T-Mobile currently has antennas at the 120-foot level of the existing 100. This scope of work actually does classify as an eligible facilities request under Section 6409 of the rules of the FCC.
Okay. Any questions, Al?
No questions.
Logan?
No questions.
Limbeck?
What's the size of the diameter of the microwave dish?
39 inches.
That'll do it.
What's anything?
Nothing from Labella, no.
Okay, and I have nothing. So we will have a resolution. First, we'll close the public hearing. Have a motion to do that?
I'll move.
There's a question from the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, step up. You're walking like I'm walking these days.
My name's Mike Roeder. I'm a representative. We're at Ravenwood Golf Club and happen to be a resident on Brownsville Road. Just want to make sure there's no tree work being done or any other trees being touched. And then color of the antenna, are they matching the current antenna that you have, or?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And then the microwave dish too, is there?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
All same color scheme and,
No.
Step up if you're going to speak.
and then what's just sort of, what's it going to do about, like, what's the approach of the service, or how the service will be different with the antennas?
The intent from T-Mobile was.
Can you step up to the microphone so we get it recorded? Thanks.
The intent for T-Mobile is to improve their service, both signal and capacity really is a big thing. The data is the big driver of this, so that there's more capacity and less strain on devices, so that your device works quicker, uploads, downloads, that sort of thing for their service. Just improving their service from those two standpoints. Is the
Just
main reason.
specifically T-Mobile too?
This particular upgrade is just for T-Mobile.
Okay. Thank you.
You want to say something? Here's your opportunity. Yeah, we have a motion to
Is there
close.
anyone else that wants to?
Is anybody else out here who wants to speak?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Joe Logan makes the motion, Joe Willenbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. We have a resolution for Crown Castle / T-Mobile, 914 Brownsville Road. Today's date, 7/27/21, application number 06SU 2021. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 10. Now therefore be it resolved that the application of Richard Zajac of Crown Castle, site plan entitled Crown Castle / T-Mobile, project located at 914 Brownsville Road, drawn by B&T Group, dated June 3rd, 2021, received by the planning board June 17, 2021. Planning board special use application number 06SU-21 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. We have some ongoing conditions. 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. 2, that a building permit be obtained for the antennas prior to installation, and be it further resolved that the planning board secretary distribute the planning board's approval letter. We have a motion.
So moved.
Joe Logan moves. Second.
I'll second.
Al Galena seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All set.
Thank you.
Next is the Mary Horning Wildlife Sanctuary sign, 240 Railroad Mills Drive. Owner Gary Reif, tax map 5.01-1-35.000, 20 SP 2021, zoned limited development district. Applicant is requesting approval to install a 60-inch by 30.5-inch wide custom routed shape sign with a proposed sign height of 60 inches. The proposed sign will designate a nonprofit wildlife sanctuary.
Hi, good evening. My name's Amy Catalano. I'm with Vital Signs. And this woman, very nice woman named Bobby Reef, contacted us a couple months ago requesting that we design a sign for a wildlife sanctuary. So we did, and here we are. And I see that there are a lot of questions about this by one of the board members, or the code enforcement officer, that I can answer. I mean, basically.
Let's take them one at a time then,
Yes.
all right? First one, the code enforcement officer says, is please describe the general intent of use for the property.
It's private property, and her second home is there on that property. It's not anything that's gonna be open to the public. It's really just a sign honoring her mother.
There, on the screen.
That's who Mary Horning is. And she just wants to show that it's preserving the wildlife around so that no development, she purchased that land so that no developer would go in and disrupt it.
Any particular wildlife she's trying to preserve?
I think mainly, she's a bird watcher, so I think it's mainly birds and, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay. Number 2 was please indicate how any existing structures will be used.
They won't, I mean, it's a private residence there, so it won't have anything to do with the wildlife sanctuary. The wildlife sanctuary is really just, it's just a sign on private property. So the use of that property is just, you know, private use.
3rd was please indicate the need for additional parking.
No additional parking.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not open to the public,
All right, that's the next question.
right?
Or will the general public be allowed admittance to structures? And if yes, to what extent?
I would say no, not unless they're invited over.
Number 5, will there be restroom facilities, portable or other?
Nope.
6, is this endeavor for profit or nonprofit?
Not for profit.
7, please provide any intended changes to the site plan. It's going to stay the way it is. That's your answer.
It's
I
going
guess.
to stay the way it is. I mean, the only thing we would do is install the sign after, after we go through the standard procedure of contacting DigSafe and, but no other disruption.
And lastly, is there a business plan?
No, there's no business plan. There's really no business.
Okay.
This seems to be, it's more intended to be like a historical marker would be along the side of the road to identify.
I guess you could say that. Mm-hmm. It's
just
more of
did.
a, you know, in honor of her mother, in memory of type of thing. So
Is there an intent at all to have information at the sign? People can, or at least a website on there or something you can go to learn about her or whatever? I mean,
not that I'm aware.
okay.
No.
It's an interesting request, I
Yep,
guess.
she's an interesting woman.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Have the neighbors provided any feedback?
I don't know how close, I haven't actually been out to the site, but I haven't heard of any feedback or any objection. I don't know how close the next neighbor, I don't know how close the neighbors are in that area. I
Is
think
there
it's,
anybody here from the public on this project? Then I guess there's
No
no
objection. How far off the road is it going to be set?
Like 12 feet.
12 feet.
And can you tell me the rationale for the size? 5 feet by 30 inches is kind of big for kind of a vanity sign, right?
Yeah, well, it was her original request, that size, so we designed within that. And I think she wanted something substantial. She didn't want just a little, you know, park marker. So, are you saying that it may be oversized, or you're just,
Curious.
Commenting.
It seems large, but I can't put it in perspective with the, you know, the landscaping around it and, you know, how it would actually appear.
not going to be lighted, is it?
nope, it's non-lit. No internal or external lighting. The colors kind of blend with the surroundings
The code
intentionally.
enforcement officer also adds this, additional reviews by the planning board and the planning and building department may be required. Please be aware that this may not be an allowed use by zoning regulations. Do they have to go to the ZBA?
It's a private
I
use.
suspect-
It's not open
I
for
suspect,
public.
based on the answers that the applicant has given, that the use is not a problem because it's remaining residential.
Yeah, that's what Al was concerned about, if it was going to be like the Audubon Society that's in that area also, where people can go and walk the property and that kind of thing. That's why he was asking those questions, because we didn't have a lot of information as to why, the purpose of the sign. So it would be a different application in addition to the sign.
Right.
Hello in the back looks like.
David, did you have a question you wanted to ask?
Hi, my name is Dave Nankin at 1174 Chaucer. Wouldn't it be advantageous just to have a sign, in addition to that sign, say private property? Because, you know, you drive by and you sort of say, oh, I want to go in, I want to see what this is about. You know, and I just thought that would be, yeah.
It does say private on it, but that's why I said, is it kind of like a historic marker, but you
Yeah.
could stand there and read it and say, well, what's it all about? And somebody's going to knock on her door and say, what are you doing? Oh, it's private. I mean, people can still pull in and,
Not open to the public or, something like that, but without taking away from the,
Yeah, that's probably a
beauty
good
of the
idea.
sign.
it's a nice sign, but it's what you'd normally expect for some place that would be open to the public.
Maybe a secondary sign, like a smaller one that says private property, not open to the public or
That,
that.
yeah, telling people that's not open to the public would probably be pretty direct,
I think you're right.
you know? It's private, it can still, there's plenty of private organizations that allow people to come in. So,
Probably add it to the sign that you're proposing.
say private, not open to the public on the bottom line, perhaps, or,
Mhm. I like that.
it's a good point.
Wes, you have any comment?
Nothing further, no?
Okay, anybody else from the public have a comment?
I'm good.
You good, Joe? Al?
I guess just the only question is jurisdictionally, is there anything to even approve here? I mean, based on the answers to the questions, it seems like not. It seems just like a private,
the LDD and she.
oh, it's in the LDD, okay.
And we can't issue the permit.
Okay, I missed that point.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That answers my question.
There you go.
Yeah, we can be sticklers.
So, we've had the public hearing, no one from the public objects. So because it's in an LED, that's why we did all this. Is there anything else to,
Well, Al's
Yes.
going to have to review it again because he wanted the answers to these questions.
okay?
So we can't close the public hearing or issue a resolution this evening.
I would say we could close the public hearing and just act on it once we get Al's comments back.
What's the
but-
board's pleasure? Anybody going to close the public hearing, keep it open?
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter?
I think.
I'm okay to close it.
Okay, then have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Joe moves, second.
Second?
Al seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is closed.
So all we really need to do is pass on your answers to Al.
Yep.
And perhaps with a resolution, when you come back next time, tell us what you're going to put on a sign that would be different than what you've got now, the private part of it.
Okay. Come back to another meeting?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Did you see Al Benedict's?
Yes, that was forwarded to me. Mm-hmm.
I can place you on the next meeting if you write formally, like send me an email of what you just said,
Okay,
and then I can pass that along to the code officer.
okay.
I can place you on the next meeting,
When's that?
August 10th.
August, oh, it's right around the corner. Okay. All right, so,
They don't have them. No, because we're waiting for information for the answers that she had. Maybe not. Because with these answers, I'll give them to Al, and then Sean will review again.
so somebody will be in touch with me if it, okay.
Yep.
All set?
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the Benson Road Deck and Fence, 212 Benson Road. Owner is Gary Danielle, or Danielle Gary, I guess. Tax map 5.01-1-38.200. Zone Limited Development District, 23 SP 2021. Applicant is requesting approval to construct a 16 by 12-foot deck and a 388 linear foot fence. This parcel is located in the limited development district, which is why it's here. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jake. I'm here as a residential contractor representing the owners, Danielle Gary and her husband. They are also attending tonight. They are new residents to Ontario County and the town of Victor. They recently just moved from Texas. Being a new home, they need to construct a new pressure-treated deck, 12 by 16, and a fence surrounding the property. It meets all setbacks and offset requirements. Did you guys have any questions?
Yep, we can open that next.
Okay.
I guess being from Texas, they want things big.
Yeah, very big.
Hey, have any comments? Wes, do you have anything, first of all?
No, nothing right now.
Thanks. Al, you have anything?
Just a question, we had several pictures provided, are they just samples of
Yep.
some of the structures, and would this be then a second floor deck is depicted?
Yes, so it would be a second floor deck. The way the property is construction, the grading does flow towards the rear. It is a walkout basement. Directly above the walkout basement, behind the kitchen would be the deck. And then the 4x4 platform for the staircase would be on the right side as pictured. I do believe in that picture it's a step down onto the platform. We would be the same height as the deck. You'd make a right-hand turn and then descend down the stairs.
Okay, thank you, that's all I had, Ernie.
Okay. Joe Logan?
Pretty much the same questions. I want to make sure that that's the purpose of the pictures. It was your intent to,
Yep, that is a sample there. As far as posts, we would have 3 posts, 2x10 floor joists, 2x12 beams, meet all code requirements for spans and things like that.
okay. Fencing, you talked about 300 or so feet of fencing. I saw the plan that you've got an outline for it.
Yep.
Type of fencing?
So type of fencing, it would be pressure-treated fencing. Your structural rails would be 2x4 depicted. That is a 1x6 there. Same style. Final elevation would be somewhere around 4 feet. It does not exceed the front of the house. I do know there is some zoning in some places where if you're further than the front, it cannot be taller than 4 feet. As far as final elevation, it should be somewhere between 42 and 48 inches with the steel wire there. So it would, aesthetically, it would be very pleasing.
So basically for animals, pets, or kids, or both?
Pets, kids, and basically an outline of the property for containment, just to have a boundary line, basically.
Okay, that's all I got, Ernie.
Joe Limbeck?
They took care of my questions for me.
Okay, thanks. And I don't have any further questions either. And we do have, motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move.
Joe Limbeck moves.
A second.
Joe Logan seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
And we do have a resolution. It's for the Benson Road Deck and Fence Site Plan, 212 Benson Road. Today's date, 7/27/21, application number 23SP 2021. Whereas the planning board made the following findings of fact, and there are 6. Whereas the Town of Victor Planning Board reviewed the unlisted action on July 27, 2021, and identified no significant impacts. Now therefore be it resolved that the project Benson Road Deck and Fence will not have a significant impact on the environment, and that a negative declaration be prepared. And be it further resolved that the application of Danielle Gary, 212 Benson Road, Victor, New York, site plan entitled Benson Road Deck and Fence, located in the Limited Development District, received by the Planning Board July 1, 2021, Planning Board application number 23SP 2020, be approved. Is that right, 2020? Maybe 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Planning Board application number 23SP 2021 be approved with the following conditions. Conditions to be addressed prior to the chairman's signature on the site plan. 1, that no final signatures will be given on the plans until all legal and engineering fees have been paid as per fee reimbursement local law adopted November 25, 1996. 2, that comments from Code Enforcement Officer dated July 19, 2021 be addressed. Ongoing conditions, 1, that the site plan comply with the Town of Victor design and construction standards for land development, including Section 4. 2, that a building permit be obtained for the fence prior to installation. And be it further resolved that the Planning Board Secretary distribute the Planning Board's approval letter. We have a motion on this.
I'll move.
Al moves. Second.
I'll second.
Bill Limbeck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You've got a letter.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome. And the last item for tonight, Target Drive-Up Expansion, 7500 Commons Boulevard, owner Target, tax map number 6.00-1-3.410, zone planned development, and it's 22 SP 2021, tax map number 6.00- did I do that already? Well, can't hurt to do it twice, -1-3.410. Applicant is requesting approval to create 24 new drive-up stalls with no parking access aisles for delivery of purchased items. The 6 existing drive-up stalls will be removed. Applicant is also proposing to install 12 two-sided stanchion signs and 1 beacon sign and relocating a second beacon sign.
That's all correct. And additionally, since that was sent in, we are proposing 2 additional light poles.
Okay, give us your name, please.
Sorry, I'm Ben Diskin. I'm with Kimley Horn, representing Target. So what you listed was correct. 24 new stalls. So it would be a loss of 6 stalls, but we're very well above the required stall count at this property, so that shouldn't be an issue. The 12 stanchion signs, and then an additional beacon sign, and then also 2 light poles to light this area for safety for delivery of goods in the evening times, that it's extra light that's not covered directly with the poles already there. They're a little bit lower, just to kind of magnify where there'll be a lot more pedestrian activity, and it's away from the Target entrance, so it's kind of just a little bit of extra safety measure that they were still designing when I initially sent in these plans.
Hey, Wes, do you have anything on this?
I do. So we did provide a letter late last week. What was the date here?
22nd.
July 22nd. So one of the questions that I had asked is about the drive-up beacon and the intensity of the LED illumination. My guess is it's probably not too significant.
Yeah, I mean, I have
Intensity there.
a sample here if you want to look at it. It's like pretty much like a headlight of a car.
Yeah, that'd be great. The other comment that I have, Ernie, is based on what he shared tonight, if they're going to be adding some light poles, I think we need to see those and at least have code enforcement officer look at those to be sure that they're code compliant with Chapter 131 of the lighting code. So that wasn't part of the submission package that was at least submitted to Labella for review. It sounds like it's maybe the town doesn't even have that.
We received it.
Oh, you did?
Today, Lisa.
Okay.
So I think she sent it to you, Wes.
Ah.
Via email, maybe.
Yeah.
Take a quick look at the lights. Code enforcement has not taken.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a copy of the plans, but yeah, I sent those. We just finished that design, so that's kind of why. It was like a last minute thing. I didn't know if even, I could present on it necessarily.
Okay. The other comments were just, just basic, stop bar detail, locating that on a different plan sheet if they wanted to, and signature blocks. So nothing more substantial than that. That's all I've got. Can I keep this
Oh
for
yeah,
our
100%.
file?
Yeah, I can send you guys that PDF of that too as well for file. Yeah. And then I wanted to also address the code comment we got was about the parking lot condition at the store. So I went out there today. It's generally not like in the best condition, but also our work isn't any, we're not replacing pavement, and the general area of the proposed drive-up stalls is actually in pretty good condition compared to like more closer to the store entrance. So we can work with the town on, proposing, asset management plan, which would usually come every 3 years with Target, but in terms of our scope of work, it doesn't necessarily seem to apply.
Is the parking lot Target's responsibility, or
Yeah.
another landowner?
No, it would be Target and they have an asset management team that basically allocates budget for all their stores on like a rotating yearly basis.
Okay, Joe Limbuck, have you?
Sure. I'm trying to figure out where this is relative to the bottle return area, and the team member drive-up door going to be right in that same area there?
Yeah, so there's a door right there and actually called a ramp for the crosswalk. That's how we're extending the crosswalk. You can kind of see it in that picture, but
Okay.
just so we can have that access and they can come straight out of that door. And that's why we're adding the lights there too, just to, get a little extra visibility, because it's kind of near the end of the store, obviously, near the corner.
You're going to expand that crosswalk?
Yeah.
As depicted there? So right now, the stop sign typically sits on the sidewalk in front of the store, and it's ignored totally?
Yeah, we're going to put in a actual, like a stop. Like, I think when I went out there, it looks kind of like a little short one, but we're
Yeah.
going to put in like a full-size one with the stop bar to.
Similar to what you've got in front of the
Yeah.
main entrance to the store?
Exactly.
And then, will the employees have to traverse that landscaped area?
No, I mean, typically the same way you'd enter, a parking lot, you would just go around it and then, through the little no parking aisles was how they'd, hand the goods to people or open the trunk type of thing.
Okay. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, Joe Logan?
So it looks like you're replacing one light pole and then adding two more, is that correct?
So that's not, so it's not a replacement of a pole. It's showing that we're going to connect to the circuitry within that light pole and extend it to those other two from that existing pole.
Okay.
So that's why we have to tap into that.
I'm looking at Google Earth, and there is a light pole there.
Yeah.
You're going to tap into that.
Yeah, so like basically the line comes up down that row of
Mhm,
stalls,
sure.
and we're just adding two in between.
Okay. All right, are you updating all the lighting in the parking lot? Those are older fixtures, they're not full cutoff LEDs, like they've been doing in the mall,
We hadn't had that. Again, we're trying to address the drive-up area specifically with the new LED fixtures that meet the code requirements, but not necessarily the entire site.
And I'll tell you what I tell everybody else, make a plan to do that. I wouldn't require it personally for this application, but I think it helps the general lighting levels of the mall to have the full cutoff and the LEDs.
To actually, create the photometric plan for it, that's kind of why we just did the two new ones.
Okay.
'Cause the other
All right.
older.
I wonder if it's something maybe the town has, or maybe we have it at our office, and former lighting plans, because generally what we ask is to show the cumulative effect
Right.
of the lighting, right? Because this is good. It shows what the new light fixtures are going to illuminate, or what those intensities are.
Yeah.
But there's a cumulative effect with the existing light poles, as you know.
Yeah.
So I think we'd want to try to find out what that is, so that we don't exceed that the intensity that's allowed in the code.
Okay.
And I guess that follows on with what I was asking about regarding the lights. So you just put the right stamp on it. I think we do need to see what light will be when you're done with it, or if you have to change out those two tall fixtures with different fixtures at the heads to reduce the overall light because you've added additional, then maybe where you start going with the rest of the lot. But
So, so the question there is, like, if we were to do nothing, the lighting would remain the same. So if we're just adding two lights, then would that require us to then replace other lights on the site if we're,
I think, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Wes, but if you add those two lights and the lighting is too intense for those areas, and part of the reason is because the other light fixtures adjacent to it are adding, are already at their limit, I should say. You might have to either cut down the level of the light from the tall ones, or the two shorter one, or
Okay.
some combination
Yeah,
of
we
that.
we can model that, I guess.
I mean, it's your option to figure out how to make
Yeah.
the lighting not exceed the town code requirements. So if it involves replacing a couple of fixtures in the area, then maybe that's what you gotta do.
Okay. Is that something you think you might have on record, or is it something we should just try to approximate as best we can? Because we've done that before, but again, it's not, how accurate it's going to be, you can't really know
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know. I can do a quick search. My guess is that we probably don't, at least at my office, we probably don't have a record of what the lighting fixtures are here.
Okay.
We may in our file.
Okay. Yeah.
at the town here.
But I would suspect in this particular area where you're adding your 2 light fixtures,
Yeah.
it probably, the intensity is it probably dims in that area because of where the existing light poles are, right?
Right.
You're looking at this area,
Yeah.
the light poles are out here.
Right.
So it makes sense that you want to put 2 shorter poles, right?
Because we're trying to concentrate
middle.
the light in that area.
Yeah, so, if, as Joe said, maybe you just, if it results in exceeding those foot candle illumination levels, maybe with the new proposed fixtures, maybe you just a dimmer fixture.
Okay.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
all
well,
it is,
we can, if you guys have something, if not, we'll try to approximate it.
We can look tomorrow.
Okay.
And then, our code enforcement will look
Gotcha.
at what you've
Yeah,
submitted
yeah.
already, and I'm sure he'll make comments similar to
Probably.
what Wes and Joe have already.
Gotcha.
Anybody have anything else? I suppose we can close the public hearing, subject to these, well, not subject to, but we maybe hold the resolution until we get this resolved.
I would agree with that.
Makes sense.
So we need a motion to close the public hearing?
Al's got it. I'll second.
I get short shrift here on the end.
Yeah, right.
The public hearing is closed.
Thank you.
And once we get these things resolved, we'll have a resolution for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
You may not have to come back for that.
Yeah, that would be probably preferable. I'm coming from White Plains, so it's a bit of a trek up here.
My father was from White Plains.
Hey, Dave.
Okay, Ed. Saw you breeze in during the
It's
meeting.
very brief, but,
We're not adjourned.
and really, I want to address it more to Joe, because he had a big concern when we talked about the whole overlay. And there was a really good spirited discussion yesterday about some of your concerns, especially as it relates to the whole town as opposed to the individual single, and one of the things we came up with, there's one that's going to be approved, okay, on East Victor Road. And the discussion was about another one we're going to be petitioned to approve. And I can tell you that in the discussion about the petition, the 2 board members said no. Okay, and we talked to Frank, who's our legal attorney, and he said, yeah, each one is, as an individual, you could vote it down. You don't have to accept what they're petitioning you to do to change those. Even though the comp plan makes that recommendation, it's a recommendation. So, just so you know, there is kind of give and take, back and forth. We'll look at each one individually, but we are talking about it a lot. And especially last night at town board. So I just want to make sure you know that your concerns are being heard. That we talked about that a lot, and everybody did read the minutes, so they knew the back and forth and the discussion. They thought it was very good. But again, there's a couple that are coming up, and there was some discussion about tabling a discussion or, voting in or going through, but I think that for future state, 3, 4, 5 boards down the road, they should have that opportunity depending on how things look at the town at that time, as opposed to us broad brushing, saying, okay, we're going to put everything in. And especially because the board really doesn't have the appetite, from what I heard last night, to do that A to C, the big jumps. So I think that your concerns are being addressed, so just so you know. I appreciate the feedback. Yep.
And I'm actually pretty excited that there's no unanimity on the board.
Right.
And I'm also very pleased that you actually sought town council's
Yep.
feedback on establishing precedents.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah, very much happy with this. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thanks, yeah. Thanks, close the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Move.
Joe Logan moves, second.
Second?
Joe Limbeck seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8 o'clock. On the dot. That was aggressive recycling.